Hey guys, welcome back again to another juicy video. How are you all guys doing? I know you are doing absolutely fantastic. It's your internet sister once again, and on this channel basically I talk about nursing. I do lifestyle videos, a little bit of me, some fun and positive vibes here and there. If you're a returning subscriber, a very big thank you for always coming back to the channel. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Becca. Kindly consider subscribing down below and turn on your post notification bell icon. That's why you wouldn't miss anytime I upload future videos. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the anatomy of the UK nursing payslip, and I'm going to be exposing the private paycheck, the NHS paycheck, and the agency paycheck. If this video sounds of interest to you, you like to watch this video right until the end. The purpose of this video is to give you an idea or an overview of how salaries are structured and paid here in the UK. This is because we are all general nurses, we are all registered nurses, we are all specialist nurses. However, we are not paid the same. No, we are not paid the same. So in the UK, every sector has its own pay structure and every sector has its own band or pay levels. What is left for you to decide is which part you want to be, because you can all be general nurses. Somebody can make £6,000 per month, somebody can make 5,000, somebody can make 4,000, someone can make as low as £1,500 as a registered nurse, but you all have the same qualification. Probably you all came to the UK at the same time. You are all even doing similar nursing roles, but your location and the sector you choose to work plays a very vital role in your life here in the UK. And so I did a video where I talked about my private care home salary, and people were like, I was not being fair in that video, or I wasn't fair in that video. And so in today's video, the pay slips I have for the NHS and the care home are jobs that I did in the same number of hours in a month. So let's say, for instance, I did this number of hours in the NHS, the same number of hours I did in the care home, and I'm going to be explaining to you and exposing to you all of these paychecks so that you make an informed decision. Without much ado, let's go right into the video. So I'll start with my NHS paycheck. If you see me looking down, I am not being rude or I am not trying to avoid you. I am just reading from the payslip so that I do not make any mistakes. So in the NHS, I was a band 5 nurse and I was contracted 37.5 hours. And so for this particular month, which I'm talking about, I did a basic hour of 131.41 hours. I did a Saturday enhancement rate of 3 hours. I did 52.50 on-call sessions, and I did an annual leave on Leo of 85.00 hours. So when we talk about basic pay, basic is the number of contracted hours that you have been contracted to work in a month. Saturday is an enhancement salary. On-call session, if you've been following me for some time now, I told you guys that I was working in endoscopy, and we had what we call the on-call session, where you are on emergency standby to be called to scope patients that are in ITU and theaters. So that is on-call session. And the Leo on annual leave, I sold 2 weeks of my annual leave that I was qualified for in that period because I needed some money at that point. So I sold all of my 2 weeks back to go to work. So that is the Leo on annual leave. So for the basic, I was paid a rate of 12.7378. If I round it, it's going to be 12.74 pounds per hour. Same rate was paid for my Saturday and on-call sessions and for my Leo on annual leave. In total, for the basic, I made 1,673.86 pounds. For the Saturday on-call 3 hours, I made 38.21. For the on-call sessions of 52.50 hours, I was paid a rate of 1.50, which is £1.50. And this is because for that on-call session, you do not go into the unit to work. You're actually at home, but you are on standby just in case any emergency happens. So I was paid 1.50. So that was a total of 79.28. And for my layer of annual leave, that is the 2 weeks of annual leave that I sold to work, I was paid £1,082.72. In total for that month, including my basic, my annual leave, and all my on-call sessions, I worked 191.40 hours for that month. And for all this, I was paid 2,874.07 before tax deduction. Now let's go to the deduction. I was deducted a payee, which is the tax of 20 per tax bracket. I was deducted 378.40. I paid national insurance of 249.25 and pension of 204.06. In that same month, because I was leaving the trust and I had to pay monies back to the trust, I was deducted some monies, and also I was using the bus ticket. I was deducted, but I'm not going to be adding that to the expenditure. So I'm not going to be putting that as an expenses, because that is not a real expenses. That is my personal expenses. So for paying national insurance and pension, I was deducted 811.71. So the money I took home for working that number of hours and even selling my annual leave was 2,062.36. I took home 2,062.36. So that is it for the NHS. Guys, this was actually prior to the agenda for change, where all NHS salaries were increased by 3%. So if you want to know a true reflection of how it will be today, add 3% of this money to the money to have a true reflection of it. Now, this same Becca, who hasn't changed, who has the same qualification, same PIN number, same CV and everything, moved to the private within that same year. So this salary I shared is that same year. I moved to the private sector and I'm working currently in a nursing home as a registered nurse. Now, in this particular month, this payslip I'm sharing is different from the payslip I shared when I was talking about the private nursing home salary. Kindly watch that video for a better understanding. So in this particular month in the nursing home, I worked a basic hour of 129 hours and I was paid 19.00. I took an annual leave of 82.50 hours because this time I wanted that leave. I needed it. I didn't work and I didn't sell my annual leave. I was paid 24.2914 hourly rate for my annual leave. So you know that if you are working in a job that doesn't have a fixed pay rate, we have what we call the holiday pay. So the holiday pay pays you more than your regular pay, so that when you go on holiday, you do not miss out. So for this holiday, I took 2 weeks. I was paid 24.2914 per hour. That same month, I came back out of my annual leave. I used 2 days to come back to work because they were very short staffed and they needed somebody. So I took 2 weeks of annual leave and then I used 2 days to come back to work. But for that 2 days of annual leave, which is 15.30 hours, I was paid at a rate of 19.00 still. And then for that same month, I did 2 shifts of bank holidays. So there were some holidays I worked and that was double pay. So some of this private gives you double pay when it's holiday. So I worked 2 shifts holiday, which is 20.20 hours, and I was paid £38 per hour. I also had a responsibility bonus. So I took up some duties that were outside of my domain, and that is called the responsibility bonus. So for the 129 hours I worked, I was paid 2,451. For the 2 weeks annual leave I took, which I actually didn't work with it, I went to relax and even go on a holiday, I was paid 2,076.91. For the 2 days I came back to work from that annual leave, I was paid £290.70. And for the bank holidays that I work for that 2 days, I was paid 769.50. And for the responsibility bonus I took for that month, I was paid £57. I paid tax of 919.40. So in the UK, the more you work, the more income tax you pay and the more national insurance you pay. So I paid a tax of 919.40. For national insurance, I paid 436.16. For pension, I paid 146.80. So in total, I was paid a total before tax deduction. I was paid a total of 5,645.11. 5,645.11. My total deduction for that month was 1,502.36. 1,502.36. In total for this month, I worked 164.55 hours. In total for that month, I took home, what actually came into my account was 4,142.75. 4,142.75. I actually enjoyed holiday in this period because I didn't go to work for 2 weeks. I was well rested and I was still paid. I even had fun on top of it. So that is it for the nursing home. Now let's go to agency. So when I was in the NHS, I was maximizing my income by working as an agency nurse. So when I was off duty, I was taking up agency shift in other NHS trusts just to gain more exposure, more competence, and also to make some money. For this particular shift I did in agency, I took up a shift in accident and emergency. And because I was quite new to accident and emergency, my rate wasn't as high as somebody that was experienced in accident and emergency for long. So for the first 4.5 hours of the shift, I was paid a rate of £35 per hour. And for the next 6 hours, 15 minutes of the shift, I was paid £38 per hour. So in total, for the first 4 hours and 30 minutes, I was paid a total of 157.50. And for the 6 hours, 15 minutes, I was paid a total of 237.50 before tax deduction. Before tax deduction for agency for one shift, it was 395. And then I paid a 20% tax from this money, and it came down to 314.35. So the money I actually took home for that one shift in accident and emergency, I took home 314.35 after tax deduction. With this being said, it gives you a fair overview or an idea of how structures work in these different institutions or different sectors here in the UK. So if you are in the NHS and you still want to maximize your income and even make up to £4,000 per month, I've done a helpful video where I explained you can do agency shifts to maximize that income. However, if you are in a care home and you have an NHS background, you can still go to the NHS and still make more pounds, and this can shoot up your salary as high as £6,000 per month. I hope I've done justice in today's video. If you want more clarity or something that I haven't talked about, kindly ask me in my comment section, as I do well to interact and answer every single question in my comment section. You can also make good use of all my previous videos that I have done. Scroll down, go into my playlist, watch my videos, because I have done a lot of videos which I have answered most of your questions in my previous video. If you still have any question that you want to ask that you are not free to ask in the comment section, head on to my social media handles. On IG, Instagram, it's Ajaman Becca, and I'll respond to your questions as early as I can. Please do want to give this video a big thumbs up if it's been of benefit to you, because this way YouTube promotes our videos and content. And comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you all guys think about these salaries. Until we meet again in my next video, guys, it's bye for now. Adios.